The ocean, it was vast, merciless, and unpredictable. For our ancestors, stepping into its embrace was like stepping into the jaws of an invisible beast. And yet the call of survival was louder than fear. Why risk it? Why would fragile humans with nothing more than sticks and stones attempt to cross raging waters? The answer lies in survival. Droughts dried up rivers. Forests shifted with changing climates. But across the sea, there was hope. Strange driftwood from distant lands washed ashore. Sometimes the silhouettes of new islands appeared on the horizon at sunset. To the sharp eyes of early humans, these were signs. Land existed beyond the waters. And land meant safety, food, and life. So the choice was made. The sea was no longer just a barrier. It was a path of destiny. No one knows exactly when the first raft was built, but imagine the scene. A small group of humans gather by the shore. Waves crash against their feet as they push a bundle of logs lashed with vines. Children cling to their mothers, eyes wide with fear. Elders whisper prayers to spirits of the sky and water. And with trembling hearts, a few brave men push the raft into the tide. The raft creaks and wobbles. Waves slap against it, threatening to tear it apart. But slowly, it floats. The first step into the ocean has been taken. Archaeologists believe that even 2 million years ago, humans might have used simple rafts or dugout canoes. By 800,000 years ago, evidence suggests that humans had already reached islands like Flores in Indonesia, meaning they had mastered short sea crossings. These weren't accidents. They were deliberate voyages into the unknown. Imagine being there. The sun beats down. The horizon stretches endlessly. Water in every direction. The raft is fragile. Every wave feels like it will overturn it. Beneath, the sea hides monsters. Massive sharks, unseen creatures brushing against the log. At night, the world becomes even more terrifying. The stars shimmer above, but the darkness below is endless. Every splash feels like a predator rising from the abyss. And yet, the raft moves forward. The crew huddles together, sharing scraps of dried meat or fruit. They sip rainwater collected in leaves, praying for land. They have no compass, no map, only the instinct to follow the stars, the flight of birds, or the direction of ocean currents. Every moment is a gamble between life and death. The first voyages were brutal. Many never returned. Some rafts capsized in storms. Others drifted endlessly, their passengers swallowed by hunger and thirst. But some survived. And survival required ingenuity. They learned to carry fire in clay or stone containers so they could cook fish caught during the journey. They stored food in animal skins tied tightly with vines. They observed birds. Following them often led to land. They studied waves and currents, realizing the sea had hidden paths that could guide them. Each success became knowledge, passed down from generation to generation. What began as blind risk slowly turned into skill. Humanity was learning the language of the ocean. Now imagine the moment. After days of fear and hunger, a young boy on the raft points to the horizon. There, faint like a shadow, an island rises from the waves. The group shouts in relief, their hearts pounding with joy. They paddle harder, driven by hope. Hours later, their feet touch sand once again. They fall to their knees, kissing the ground. Palm trees sway above them, new fruits hang heavy, and streams of fresh water glisten. This was more than survival. This was triumph. The ocean had not swallowed them. It had delivered them to new worlds. From such voyages, humans began spreading to distant islands and continents. Step by step, raft by raft, they expanded their horizons. These early journeys planted something deep in the human spirit. Crossing the sea was no longer just about survival. It became about discovery. Every successful voyage added courage to the next. Myths and stories were born. Elders spoke of lands across the waters where food was plentiful and dangers few. Children grew up hearing tales of heroes who sailed the unknown and returned victorious. The ocean was no longer just a threat, it was a teacher. And slowly, humanity transformed. No longer bound by the limits of land, they became explorers of both earth and sea. Looking back, it is almost unimaginable. With no sails, no charts, and no knowledge of what awaited them, our ancestors dared to risk everything. Some were driven by hunger, some by desperation, some by the simple question, what lies beyond? That question became the heartbeat of human history. It led our kind across seas, across continents, and eventually into every corner of the planet. The first ocean voyages were not just survival stories. They were the foundation of human courage, curiosity, and resilience. The journey had only just begun. Greater migrations awaited. Storms more violent than they had ever seen. Oceans wider than their wildest dreams. And one day their descendants would not only cross seas, but conquer the entire world.
If this journey moved you, then don't just scroll, continue the past. The story is not over yet.